Hey, Statesman Nation, we're here with our first 2021 season preview, and joining me today is head men's soccer coach Simon Brown. Simon, thanks for coming on with me today.
No, I appreciate you having us. It's always fun time of year getting to do these interviews.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're going to be our first one of the year, so you'll be our first kind of preview into sport going on for the 2021-22 season. But before we get into next season, we're going to talk a little bit about last season. This is going to be your second year as head coach, so let's talk about that first year a little bit. Last year, 12-8 in one of the toughest conferences in all of NAIA men's soccer, and 8-4 in conference play. What went well, what didn't for you guys last year?
This will be my first normal season, for lack of a better term.
Sure.
That starts in August and then finishes in November, because last year we started in August and we didn't finish until the end of April.
Yeah.
And the national tournament was in May, so
which is just weird.
Yeah,
for you guys.
it was just a long year. So I'm looking forward to some sense of normality and getting back to just the way things used to be beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to schedule and not constantly changing every week. You don't know where you're at. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think what went well last year was the team. I think the team got better as the season went on in both parts. Trying to split up the season, we had a fall season and a spring season, so kind of had two pre-seasons. So I said I think started off not the best, and that was probably a lot to do with me being naive as a first-year head coach, thinking that it would be easy. And it was just a good eye opener because nothing really ever is at the start. Becoming a head coach, like, this will be the way it is, and we'll win games and we'll be as good as we were before, and it's never like that. So I needed that eye opener, and needed the team needed that also, and also just realising the level of the competition as well. I'd been here for 3 years as an assistant. We brought in a whole new team. The team that finished the national tournament game against Kaiser, and nobody played in national tournament game against Hastings in 2019. So a completely new 11 over the course of a season, which is very strange. So you could see just in that year's time the amount of kids that we turned over and graduated, and eligibility stuff that we never had to deal before between a fall and a spring semester. Loads of learning on the fly, loads of good feedback from the players about how the season went, both seasons, and just a good drive for a sense of unaccomplishment, or like not feeling satisfied about the season end. It's nice to go to a national tournament and get to go to Florida in April, but it doesn't really mean anything unless you win and make an impact, and I think that's one of the things that we're missing. Yeah.
So as I mentioned, one of the toughest conferences in NAIA men's soccer, the Heart of America Athletic Conference, has a lot of powerhouses in there, including the team who spent most of last year at number 1 in Central Methodist, and the defending national champions in Missouri Valley. In your slate last year, you had 8 top 25 matchups. You went 3-5 in those, but you played really close against some of those top 5 teams. So how does that feel for you as a coach, to kind of having your guys be just right there with some of those big names?
Yeah, I know. And I think this is one of the things about playing in the Heart of America, is that every game could be a national tournament game. There's teams that, and we were there a couple of years ago, we're finishing 7th, 8th in conference. They're just as good. They're so close. It's only a game away. So every game it's only ever a goal in it. So every game matters. And that was one of the things that we didn't really get through to the guys last year, was the importance of every game.
Yeah.
And it's not okay to lose 2 games in a row, because it kind of kills you. You saw that the big difference between finishing 4th and 5th, and the big difference between finishing 3rd and 4th is normally one moment in a game against a big team. So yes, we did okay last year against some ranked teams, but like I said, we want to be those ranked teams. We want to be the teams we want to be one of the teams that they're looking up to, and it only comes by beating them, and that's why we schedule tough non-conference games against the likes of Morningside, Columbia, Bellevue, Northwestern, who just missed out last year. So we're playing some quality teams out of conference, and then that gets us ready for in conference also.
And from that team last year, you have some big names coming back. So a couple of the names, you have Kenzie DeVisca, and who are some other ones that you want to touch on?
Yeah, so just working way back, like kids like Milton, Sagar, Aaron, Lucas, and the back line, kids like Will, Vinny, Luke, and then like Rafa, the goalkeeper. All those guys playing in that national tournament game. Obviously the result wasn't great, but like this, we didn't have this a core group like that coming back last year. So it's nice because I can just speak on them to set the standards and they can kind of relate to the guys, where before it was kind of just me and Joe and Kenzie and Corby and Donnie, a small group of guys with a large group of kids coming in that you know the numbers outweigh the voices. But this year it kind of matches it. So I'm hoping that intangible relates or transpires to the game a little bit anyway.
So with that core group of players coming back, do you have any big names that are coming in that we should be watching out for this year?
Yeah, I think the one of the things from last year to this year was we didn't start the season until September 5th, so we got kids eligible for that game because we had an extra 2 or 3 weeks. One of the tough things, and every NAIA men's soccer team that recruits internationals will notice that it's tough to get the kids eligible. Getting through the clearinghouse, getting the Incred stuff over. Sometimes they don't understand the transcripts because it's in different language. It takes a little bit of extra time. So the game, we have our first scrimmage on the Saturday against Iowa Central, so it'll be interesting to see who we can get eligible. Where I met with Blake in there this morning, just said who's eligible, who can we get cleared. Summer grades come out for some guys to take some summer classes, try to get some GPAs coming through. So we've got a good group of kids coming in that are excited to be a part of the team. Names I don't know yet because I don't know who's going to be eligible. But yeah, we got a good couple of junior college transfers, and they're going to help us out right away with some holes that we need, and then some freshman kids that we like to build the team around for the future.
So on that topic, you touched on it a little bit earlier. This is going to be your kind of first normal season. So in your first actual season, you had to deal with COVID for all your recruiting stuff. So how did that kind of change over to this year? Has it been a lot easier for you?
I wouldn't say easier. I would say not a lot changed for us as in regards to recruiting. We recruit a lot of the guys. We have a bunch of international guys and Americans also. It's all through email, video calling. We FaceTime the kids now. We have group chats with them. So not a lot changed for us in that regard. So I think that's why we were able to get the same kids last year as this year. So recruiting kind of was one of the things that stayed the same. Not much change for all of us, especially because international guys, you still have to do it the same way. I know other sports is more face to face, and there's tournaments we go to around the Midwest and West Coast, down south, that we didn't go to this year, and then that was just replaced with film and video calls and stuff like that.
Yeah, just talking to some other coaches, it seems like a lot of their recruiting kind of got altered a little bit, but it's good to hear that. I mean, for you guys, it's kind of just the same as last year. Yeah,
like I said, not much has changed. We always, like when I came over as a soccer player, I had a highlight film. And that was all the coach had to rely on, and conversations through the phone. And in my 10 years being in America, that hasn't changed. So, like I said, COVID didn't really impact that as long as the kids had film. And I think that was the main thing.
So looking forward to the schedule next year. You guys got another heavy slate. You got, right now for the preseason rankings, you have 6 ranked matchups coming, top 25 matchups coming, and I believe 4 in the top 10, including Central Methodist, including Missouri Valley, and I believe Bellevue is ranked number 8 coming into the year, and Columbia.
4.
Yep. So looking forward. What's it looking like for you guys this year?
Yeah, no, but like I said, we don't have to play Bellevue, we don't have to play Columbia, we don't have to play Morningside, but we want to. You want to play those top games, because if you don't, and then you go into our conference and you're playing Missouri Valley, CMU, Mid America, all those guys, it's just a completely different level.
It's a good litmus test.
Yeah, no, and this is why we love this job. Except we want the competition. This is why these guys come here. They come here to compete in the best conference against the best players in the country, and they come here to get better. And nobody wants an easy game. The enjoyable games are the ones where you earn a win, and every win we have to earn. Every win we get is in conference is earned, and out of conference with the schedule we have as well. It's like we want to schedule tough teams. If we're right outside the top 25, we're never going to get in if we don't beat them. So we have to schedule them. So we're not afraid to play anyone, and we want those tough competition regardless of the result. We just want to have that experience.
Yeah, sure. So your season opener is going to be your first scrimmage of the year is going to be August 14th, correct, against
Iowa Central on Saturday.
Iowa Central, okay. So then you'll have a little bit of you'll have 2 scrimmages, I believe, until the start of the regular season.
We're going to play Midland up in Nebraska next Thursday, and then the following Tuesday we're home, the opener against Iowa Wesleyan.
Cool. Following Tuesday against Iowa Wesleyan.
Yep.
Well, Coach, you have anything you want to say to Statesman Nation as we kick off the 2021-2022 athletic year?
No, that's it. I appreciate all the support. In my time here, soccer is only going to go up and up and up, and the support that's come in has been the same thing. And I'm not talking about the level, I'm talking about the people coming to the games, the kids coming to the games, and I know Athletic Ops here and the fans do a great job, and I hope that we're putting a show on for the fans to want to come to more soccer games.
Well, there you have it. Thanks for coming on. I think that's about going to be all from me. This is going to be our first season preview for the 2021-22 season. Simon, thanks for coming on with me today.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We'll catch you next time for another season preview here on the Statesman Sports Network.